Good morning, good afternoon. I am in Carmel, California with my mom. I have some family here, so we are visiting, and it's such a blessing in disguise. I've never been to Carmel before, really or spent any time in California, let alone see where my family over here lives and what they do. So it's been so amazing to see that. Carmel, it's a very similar town to, or atmosphere to the town that I grew up in Idaho. It's very an older population, pretty boring. It's kind of like the retirement atmosphere. So for me, it feels very calming, but I have a 14-year-old cousin who's itching to get out. But it's so nice to be here. We went to a great restaurant last night, and just to hear how they're doing in life has been so fun. So much sympathy for 14, I'll tell you that. But I do have a specific topic that I wanted to talk about today. And it sounds kind of funny because literally everyone does this, but it's something that I'm really struggling with, and it's vlogging insecurities. So vlogging my day to day, and it's different when it's just me doing me, going to the gym and grocery shopping and whatever. But when other people are involved, or when it's things like art gallery, just when other people are involved, it gets a little confusing on where the respect lies, because of course I want to give these people that undivided attention, but then it's gotta work. So it's kind of just how do you manage that? Is the intention going in, if you're hanging out with friends or whatever, it's just so you know, I need to vlog this experience, so I'm just gonna have to do that. And yeah, I'd actually really like to know what you guys think about that, or how, if you post on YouTube and do daily vlogs with a vlogging camera, because I feel it's so much easier with your phone, right? It's a lot hidden, more hidden. But I struggle with it because I feel it's just disruptive, and I don't like bringing more attention to myself than what's already there. But when I acknowledge that it is going to be disruptive and that's a part of the plan, I feel the batteries die really fast, and they'll be fully charged and just die really fast, or I'm maybe I need to go. Now that I'm saying this out loud to you guys, I wrote notes down, but I feel maybe I'm just treating it a bit too casually, and I need to think about it more like I do when I video for shoots and stuff. You have a shot list and it's more planned out. We'll see. But I feel silly talking about it because it's something that millions of people do and are doing, and it just shouldn't be this difficult of a thought process. But being a photographer and someone that is interested in visual aesthetics, I really coming right out of the gate, I really would like the visuals, to be immaculate, and I would like the filming to be steady and pristine, and it's the pressure, or it's not pressure, but the standard that I'm holding myself to is really funny, because I'm being so relaxed about it, but then I'm holding myself to a non-relaxed standard, because the reality is I'm just holding it on my tripod. I have a handheld tripod, and so when I'm filming right now, it's just on the tripod, or I'm literally holding it with my hand, so there's going to be shakiness to it. But it's how do I make the shakiness aesthetic? Is ugly ever going to be hot? No. I mentioned in last week's video that I'm traveling around California for a couple weeks, so I wish I was in Carmel a little bit longer than I am, but it's gonna be so nice. My mom and I, yesterday, once we drove in, because it's a 3-hour drive down from Sacramento, and once we drove in, we immediately went to Lupine Loop. My family has a bench over there on the hike, and we just wanted to go see it. And we ended up walking on the wrong path and doing a different loop. Like, we went all the way to the top instead of just to the bench. It was so hard. It's literally, the hike is only like 2 miles, but it's vertical. And I'm not talking like, oh, it's like a little steep. I'm like, it's literally straight up. You like turn a corner and it's just straight up. And there's like no landings where you can stop and then like stop. It's just straight up. Like, the New York City subway system has not prepared me for this moment. I was so not ready. I feel like I'm sore today in a good way. Like, I do like it. So we went to hike this family bench, and I was trying to film the process because it was just like, you know, we're hiking. So you're just holding the camera and or like putting it down and then doing it. And I was prepared what I thought I was. I thought I was prepared and ready, and then it turns out I really wasn't that prepared. My camera died, like the battery. It was fully charged. I had taken it off the charger, and it died within 30 minutes in, which maybe is typical for vlogging cameras, that the batteries, you know, they aren't lasting as long. But I don't know. So I'm still learning and trying to like troubleshoot as I go, and then find out the actual routine that I need to be in of like, I have 2 batteries, so it, you know, bringing everything with me and like what does that look like, and being as prepared as I possibly can for stuff like this so I can continue to film when a battery dies. I do have a little bit of footage, and I would like to just show you what I came up with. So here it is. Where is he? It's not much, but it's a start of the kind of work that I want to challenge myself to do. I feel like there's so much room in film. There's so many avenues that you can take, and from like motion picture movies to vlogging to whatever, there's just room for this kind of stuff. So yeah, so I just want to experiment with it and have in a fun, like, non-judgmental way with myself, and I feel like YouTube is a really good spot to do that. But the real topic of what we're going to talk about today is not about my inability to film a vlog and having a hard time with it. It's about the importance of creating bad art and why it's important and why you should share bad art and post bad art and submit bad art, because it's fundamental to the growth of an artist. It's fundamental to the growth of a career. Like, even if you weren't in a creative industry and I don't know, you were in accounting, like, you're not every expense report you do is going to be a pristine expense report and look beautiful and all of that. You learn and you grow and you do mistakes and take time to develop the things that you need to, to get to where you want to be. So, so we're talking about the importance of creating bad art. And the stress of perfectionism is so debilitating for me. It keeps so many of us from trying new things and releasing the work that we have, or even trying a new hobby because you feel like you have to be perfect right out the gate. As we're young with our careers, I would just like to again emphasize the importance of creating bad art, creating a bad vlog, creating a bad image, for a few reasons. But the first, it's never as bad as you think it is. There's a market for everything, and it's never as bad as you think it is. It's never as serious as you think it is, especially in this, like, vlogging, like, I want it to be good, but I'm not beating myself up to get it perfect the first time. Learn the skill and then become serious with it. Learn the angles and how to film. Find the routine that works best for you, and the seriousness of the project, the seriousness of what you're doing will shortly follow. The importance of it is not swayed by how good the end outcome is, if that makes sense. There was this submission that last year I didn't submit to it. I had missed it because I didn't feel like the work that I was making was good enough. This year, same thought happened, but I did submit. If I had redone the shoot, I would have done it totally different. But I submitted the project. The concept of the project I knew was strong. I didn't feel like the work fully followed the concept, but I knew the concept was strong, and I knew there was room to continue to talk about what I had submitted, and that is what is important. It's okay that I don't receive the grant or whatever. I mean, like, ideally I would want it, but the point is, if you don't submit the bad work and you don't put out the bad work, or the work that you're not insanely proud of, or the work that you're like kind of about, you're never going to do it. You just have to do it. It's a part of your story. It matters so much to so many people. And if we really think about it, do you think that, like, Basquiat liked every single painting he did? Like, Van Gogh? Like, hello? These people, like, it wasn't about that. Art, this is such like a me opinion, but I feel like art has become very sterile these days. We're not seeing a ton of, like, weirdos making art. We're not seeing weird art as much. The renaissance of COVID is not as grand as I thought it would be, especially in New York, and that's where I'm seeing the art mostly, in person, I mean. Although Gagosian has a really great show right now, I think, and The Artist is weird, but don't shy away. And this is like, I am calling myself out here because I say this as someone that is 100% debilitated by perception. It like rules my life. And every day I wake up and try to like let people see me as who I am, because I have a fear of judgment, but I think more importantly I have a fear of people not understanding who I actually am and like their perceived notion of me versus me eats me alive. It like truly eats me alive, and I feel like a lot of my work is often misunderstood. And you can, you can waste your time and energy in trying to control how people interpret you and understand you and all of that. But the reality is like, it's not necessary. It's too much. You're going to stress yourself out and waste too much of your time doing that. But I truly do believe that it's important to release work that you don't like and are 100% proud of, because it's a part of your story and because it shows who you are and where you are at what point in your life. And in the good and the bad, all of it are just as important. So steps that I'm taking: being more honest and authentic with you guys, being more honest and authentic with myself. And this is something of like capturing, when someone asks me something, instead of like embellishing or de-embellishing slightly, just say the truth. Just, if it's a little boring, it's a little boring. If it's doesn't show you in the best light, it doesn't show you in the best light. And it's scary and it's hard. And I think the work that you make through those moments, through the part of life that's boring, through the part of life that's really exciting, it's all necessary. Could you imagine though, like how big slay it would be if every work that you created was like excellent and just fantastic, Just for yourself. Like every photograph I took, if I was like, wow, I am a genius. I have the eye that no one else has. I am just a star. One, ego check, hello. Two, does that end up devaluing the work? If every image is incredible, age-old question, is no image then incredible? Like, the ebbs and flows of artistic expression are fundamental to an artist's career. And I think it's really important to that. So today, I shared a vlogging thing with you, something that I'm embarrassed about, something that I didn't properly set up, something that wasn't the best work that I've created, but I'm going into the video atmosphere, not being trained in video, which I know a lot of people aren't, not really experimenting with it more than like YouTube, more long format videos with like YouTube, and I'm trying to do it, and I'm gonna do it badly until I don't do it badly. So that's the wisdom I'm imparting on you, is go make bad art and then tag me in it so I can see it, or share with me privately if you just want to talk about it, because I would love to talk about it. And I have bad art that I'll share with you too, so it can be like a thing. It'll be so fun. But I have to go get ready because we're gonna go into town, and I said I'd be done by 8:30 and it's 8:27, so time to get dressed. Love you. Talk to you soon.